What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NBA podcast. Back once again. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin on the show. What's up, Dustin?
Oh, man, thanks for having me once again.
Yeah, good to have you back on. You always know your shit, so this should be a good episode. We got the highlights going. Hope you guys see that. Hope you guys enjoy that. This is our first episode with the highlights, the background of yesterday's games. Celtics Raptors, game one. First of all, let's start out, Dustin. What was your thoughts of the Raptors sweep of the Nets? I predicted 5 or 6 games. I forget what your prediction was, but they kind of ran through Brooklyn pretty easily.
Yeah, that was expected because Brooklyn, they didn't have their star players, and a lot of players held out for them, so that was expected for me.
Yeah, it's true. No KD, no Kyrie, no DeAndre Jordan, no Spencer Dinwiddie. Karis LeVert was really the only guy that was going to do anything. So the Raptors were able to sweep that. How surprised were you that the Celtics swept the Sixers? I mean, no Ben Simmons, but I kind of expected Philly to get at least one or two.
That was not surprising to me, just because of the fact of people are sleeping on how really good this Celtics team is. They're my Eastern Conference Finals pick, and also Philly just isn't Philly without Ben Simmons, man.
Yeah, it's true. And then after that series, right after, head coach Brett Brown of the Sixers gets fired. Did you think that was a just firing, or is that more so him getting fired because Ben Simmons got hurt? How much blame do you put on the coach?
Honestly, I put more of the blame on Elton Brand than I do the
The
coach.
GM?
But
Yeah.
but Brett Brown did very well. He took them from mediocrity to being, a top 5 team in the East for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I felt like if they could have kept, I would have rather kept Jimmy Butler over Tobias Harris of those three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Jimmy Butler, from what I heard, was pretty. He thought right away that there was a lot of issues, a lot of lack of accountability there in Philly, and multiple players have said that. They didn't think the leadership was good. They didn't hold everyone accountable. So, no more Brett Brown. We'll see who the next head coach is of the Sixers. I heard a report that Jason Kidd wants to be the next Sixers
Yeah,
coach. Who?
there's a lot of good rumors. Mark Jackson from ESPN.
That'd be good. There's a lot of good teams out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of big names going around.
Yeah. So you think Philly's that good? I mean, they sweep. They come into the second round. You're seeing the highlights here against Toronto, and the Celtics go up 1-0 in this series. What do you think? How much do you believe in Boston? Is this a long 6 or 7 game series, or are they taking care of Toronto too?
I'm gonna let it go 4-2, 6 games, just because Toronto is not a terrible team. They'll end up taking 2 away because Kyle Lowry will get hot and Pascal Siakam will get hot.
Yeah. Ibaka needs to play well. Gasol needs to play well. OG, as we're seeing his highlights right there. The Boston is loaded. It's easy to forget how talented the Celtics are. And Brad Stevens is a hell of a coach.
They just seem to be too fast with all this young talent, like Brown getting to the rim and Tatum and
I like
Kemba
Marcus
Walker.
Smart a lot too.
Yeah, so they're young, fast, and talented, and that's dangerous.
Yeah. I've still got my pick was I never made a pick for this series, Sixers Celtics. I mean I did pick actually I did. I think I picked Toronto in like 7. So we'll see. I do think it's a long series. I think it goes 6 or 7 games. Toronto will adjust. I picked the Raptors to win game 2. But no doubt Boston's talented. I just think Toronto's very talented as well. Pacers Heat is playing right now. or not Pacers. Bucks. Let's go to Bucks. Took down the Magic in 5. What do you think? I mean, Orlando stole game 1, but then the Bucks took care of them after that.
Yeah, the Bucks are gonna go to the Eastern Conference Finals to play the Celtics at the end of the day. But
Giannis, Middleton. Middleton didn't play that well in that series against Orlando.
but the Heat are a very, very good, tough team, man.
Yeah, they sweep the Pacers. I was pretty surprised. I thought the Pacers would make that a tougher series. I thought it would go 6 games. I even said possibly 7. I
I
think I
did
picked.
too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's go to the West. All right, so let's say in the East actually. Bucks Heat going on right now. Hell of a game. Tough back and forth game 1. Who do you think? You got the Bucks beating the Heat, but how many games do you say?
I think it's gonna go 6.
Yeah. I think it could go. I mean, it could go 7, but I like Jimmy Butler a lot. Goran Dragic is hooping.
Duncan Robinson is having one hell of a playoff run.
Yeah, he he's crazy. I remember watching him at Michigan, and he's a shooter flat out. One of those guys that they never expected such long shots to make it to the NBA, but he's got a sweet shot from deep.
Yeah, and then Bam Bio.
Yeah.
They have an overall solid squad, but they just don't have enough to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, in my opinion.
I agree, but I think it's hard for 6 games, like you said, maybe possibly 7. Um, and then we'd be looking at, Bucks versus either Celtics or Raptors. That'd be pretty crazy. Bucks Celtics would be a great series.
And I think that's what everybody expected. That's what everybody expects is Bucks and Celtics.
Man, I push back though. I still like Toronto, even though they got their ass kicked in game 1. I think they got a great coach in Nick Nurse. I think they'll adjust. They were down, remember, if you remember last year, I think they were down 0-2 to the Bucks and came back.
Yeah, I do.
You never know, but that was with Kawhi, so. We're at the West. So me and you both thought that Lakers-Blazers was going to be a long, hard-fought series. I think we both said 7 games. But 5 games, the Blazers steal game 1, and then in 4 straight, the Lakers take care of business. No Lillard for game 5. But LA looked pretty dominant there in that series. There was no defending Anthony Davis in that series for Portland.
Yeah, he was definitely unstoppable. I mean, they didn't have the body size, and Yusuf Nurkic just couldn't hold him when it came to, because he can shoot from the perimeter as well. So as he stretches the floor, and it's hard to guard a 7-footer when he stretches the floor.
He was making all those perimeter shots too. He wasn't missing. For a guy with that size, he can shoot, and they're like fadeaway half the time too.
Yeah.
The jab steps to give himself space, and then he shoots it in your face. He's a talented player. Do you think Anthony Davis is the best teammate LeBron's ever had?
Oh man, that's a tough one because
I know.
I can only say that if they win a chip together because, in my opinion, the best teammate he's ever had, like as in a team, would be Kyrie Irving because they won that title together. But that's just me.
Yeah, and him and Wade won titles too.
Yeah, but that was more expected. I mean, when he went back, when he went back to Cleveland, I didn't expect him to win. Honestly. Ooh, Clippers Mavs. This is gonna be a good one.
Game 6. Yeah. Damn, I got advertising on this show now too. Netflix need to give us some money. But yeah, I don't know. I think I think Anthony Davis. I think Dwayne Wade is the best teammate he's ever had. When like that first year, 2011, 2012, 2013, those were crazy. Dwayne Wade. He was still pretty good. Everyone thinks about 2014 Dwayne Wade when his knees were shot, and Chicago Bulls Dwayne Wade. They don't think about where Wade was when LeBron decided to join up with
Hey, don't say that about Chicago Bulls Dwayne Wade.
him. the Rondo Wade Butler. That wasn't a bad team. It was just we didn't have a good head coach in Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying Wade wasn't, a great teammate. I just feel like LeBron didn't have to make Wade play better. He made Kyrie play better.
Yeah, Kyrie was so talented those couple years and hitting big shots. So how do you determine made him play better? Are you saying like because Kyrie without LeBron can't get it done? Isn't the guy, and LeBron is the guy like always?
Yeah, but I mean, Wade didn't need LeBron to win a title in 2006.
That's a good point. Bosh needed Wade and LeBron to win.
Oh yeah, Bosh definitely needed them because he was on some pretty sorry Raptors teams, and
Yeah. Yeah,
man,
you don't consider Andre Bagnani to be an elite weapon?
I mean he was, but them
Yeah.
them those Raptors back in the day, man, were a little
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, they let Kobe put 81 on them, so
Jalen Rose did that. So looking at projecting for the Lakers, they ran through Portland pretty easily. Anthony Davis looked unstoppable. LeBron was doing his thing. Next up, it's looking like the Rockets. They have a 3-2 lead on the Thunder. How do you think a Rockets-Lakers series would go?
oh man, that's probably going to be the funnest series so far because you
I
got
agree.
two very dynamic players in Westbrook, who looked pretty good in his return. Didn't really score, but facilitated a lot. And then James Harden, who's just an all-natural scorer.
Yeah.
And then LeBron and Davis are going to play as usual, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, I look at Houston again, and I'm like, who's going to defend Anthony Davis? He's going to eat the entire series.
Yeah, but then again, who's going to be able to defend Harden and Westbrook if Westbrook gets going?
No, I think the Lakers' defense is going to struggle. I think it's going to be a high-scoring back-and-forth series. Like that's why it's going to go 7 games because it's just going to be a shooting fest. And who gets the advantage in a shooting fest? Doesn't it go to Houston?
I mean, I would go with Houston, but
They're also
history. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're also a streaky shooter. They go cold, like what you were gonna say. They're streaky.
Yeah. I was gonna say history has shown in the last couple of years that when it comes to game 6s and 7s, Houston just can't get it done.
Yeah, in the biggest games, Harden.
Yeah.
Going back to against the Spurs, going to Golden State twice. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And Westbrook doesn't exactly have the best, history with big games in the playoffs either. He gets a little trigger happy.
Yeah, but I think this is a different Russell because, I mean, he has been passing the ball a little bit more and being more, facilitating a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. He has been playing better, and surprisingly, the Rockets have been playing defense. PJ Tucker been playing defense. They've been hustling, diving on the floor for loose balls. Let's talk about this game. This series, Clippers Mavs. That was a great series. I mean, Dallas gave the Clippers a bit of a handful, and Doncic was ridiculous.
Yeah, he's definitely the future of the NBA. I mean, he was averaging 30 points, just in the playoffs.
That game four to hit that comeback and then the game winner, that was ridiculous, man. Because I thought the Clippers had that, and then he just steps back, hits the game winner. What do you think of the whole Marcus Morris drama? Did you think Morris was intentionally trying to hurt Luka or take him out of the game?
I mean, I really don't know about that, but I know Marcus Morris has had a history of being a little bit too rough in the NBA. So,
Yeah, being a little dirty, a little cheap.
yeah, taking cheap shots, as you would say. But I also do think this game would have been different if Kristaps Porzingis wouldn't have torn his meniscus.
Yeah, yeah. If Porzingis was out there, that would have helped. I still think that the series went about as it should. I still think Clippers in six, maybe seven, but the Clippers are more talented. They're just better. I mean, you see the way Kawhi took over games in the fourth quarter and just hitting back to back to back mid range and playing defense. Kawhi is like consistently putting up 30 and 10 and five steals. He's playing great. He looks to be in great form right now.
Yeah, man, and that would be crazy because he'd be one of the first players to win a chip with three different teams.
Yeah, and it's Finals MVPs. If he got a third Finals MVP with a different team, no one's ever done that.
Yeah,
LeBron's trying to chase him, trying to do that as well. So if Kawhi or LeBron finish Finals MVP, it's going to be history. It's pretty crazy. Um, so yeah, Clippers take it in six. Hard fought series. Luka really, coming out party really showed how good he can be.
yeah.
Um,
Dallas needs one more piece though. They have to get themselves a decent center.
yeah, um, yeah, they do. Who was it? Someone was talking about Dallas getting Giannis. They were talking about if Dallas could recruit Giannis.
That that would be crazy, man. Him and
Yeah,
Doncic, and then if they can keep a healthy Kristaps Porzingis, that would be
that's way
massive.
too much size, man. Size and length and passing ability and just how you can't defend that.
No,
The same goes for if you put Giannis in Golden State. You can't defend that either. With you surround him with shooters, the
that would
great.
not be fair, bro.
No, it would not. We thought them with Durant was insane. You put Giannis on that where he can facilitate and rebound and play in the middle, surrounded by shooters. That's that's game over.
Well, yeah, because that would give Giannis to be able to not have to worry about always scoring so much. He can do
Yeah,
what he's best at, and that's grabbing boards and blocking shots.
exactly. He'd be like a 20-20-10 guy.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have to worry about putting up 30 or 40 a game just to try to win.
Giannis be getting those quadruple doubles. uh,
Yeah,
Nuggets Jazz. We got Game 7 coming up in that. I picked the Nuggets in 7. I'm pretty sure you picked the Nuggets as well. Do you think you picked Denver?
I believe that I did pick Denver.
Yeah. Um, but they were down 3-1 and able to force a Game 7, showing their resilience. Jamal Murray absolutely took over last night. That was crazy to see. We dropped 50 on him.
Yep, he dropped 50.
Kentucky product, I think. I'm pretty sure. Jokic doing his thing out there. Donovan Mitchell versus Murray has really been the show.
Yeah, I mean Mitchell's been playing his butt off too. Like he's
Yeah,
averaging what almost 30-something as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been going off. This is going to be a must-watch Game 7.
Oh yeah, and Jamal Murray was always a good player. It's just he is really coming out of his shell now.
Yeah, he's so confident now. You can tell. His facial expressions after making some of those shots last night was like he's feeling it.
Yeah, and he said that he dedicated that game to the stuff that's going on in America. So
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, we almost lost basketball. The playoffs almost quit abruptly. I'm glad that I understand them needing to take a break, needing to take a game or two off. It was a very emotional time for this country and for players and for everybody. But I think they made the smart decision, and the decision that I like the best is to come back and finish these playoffs. I would hate to see it end prematurely because it's such great basketball and such a good entertainment.
yeah,
Uh,
because I felt like after a while the players may have felt regret for not finishing the
exactly.
season.
Yeah. They you don't want to make a rash decision and then regret it later. And I know that Michael Jordan was part of that, the meetings, like being a facilitator between the players and the owners and trying to be a voice of reason. Um, I know LeBron took it extremely hard, and I think the Lakers and the Clippers both originally voted not to finish the playoffs, but they were
Yeah,
able to come to a conclusion or a consensus.
LeBron said something about he thinks about leaving daily, but then he also thinks about basketball. So
Yeah, and we don't think about how difficult that bubble life has to be. I mean, we look at all the amenities around, and that they can go fishing or miniature golf or whatever. But we don't think about these guys as being humans and having families and kids and responsibilities elsewhere that they can't take care of from where they're at. And along with the pandemic concerns and worries, along with the social justice, the injustices in this country, a lot weighing on these guys' mentals, a lot on their heads, and this really is going to be a trying championship to win. There's going to be a lot talked about this championship run.
yeah, it was it's it's gonna mean a lot more this
Yeah.
year
Oh
than it ever
man.
has,
To
just
lose
because
Black
of the
Panther, to lose Kobe, to have the All Star game changed to the Kobe Bryant Award. So you got Lakers players trying to do it for Kobe this year. Everything. It's like so many things are riding on these guys' minds in this bubble in this return to play.
yeah. And what I loved is in these games you can see the emotions.
Yeah.
Like Gobert just kicked a chair because
Yeah.
he's feeling he's feeling the emotions of wanting to win and wanting to get that championship and stuff. And
I
these
like to
players
see
are
that.
just
I like to see that it means something to these guys. Like, it would be easy to be like, man, we're stuck in this bubble. We're tired of it. We want to go home to our families. Let's go ahead and check out and get out of here now. But you can tell from what Gobert is doing and from what the way how hard these guys are playing, it means something to them.
yeah. And I mean, and I feel like they could get their message out better by playing instead
I
of
agree.
canceling, the games, because I feel like maybe that's what, canceling the games would have made people just more angry about the fact.
It would see. This is how I look at it. If they had canceled the games, it's like it's like they're defeated. It's like they're like man, I can't go on. And I think that playing and bringing attention to a game and bringing attention to you playing, balling out during this bubble and playing your best game and then getting a microphone in your face after the game is more opportunity, more publicity for you then to talk about the matters that are most important to you and get it out that way. And that, to me, that's my take on it. And most importantly, I'm just glad to see him playing. For selfish reasons, I like to see the NBA out there.
Yeah, and I was a little heartbroken at first when they were talking about canceling the rest of the playoffs, and that brought me back to imagine if Kobe was here and all this was happening. Kobe would want to play.
Yeah.
And Jordan obviously told the guys, hey, let's play. This is, even though this is much more than basketball would be able to spread the message with the names on the jerseys and the Black Lives Matters on the court, could easily be able.
Kobe would be going off too. You think about it, what Kobe would be doing in this bubble. He would absolutely want to play. He would absolutely be a leader right now. He would be very outspoken, and he would be going off. He'd be dropping like 50 a game right now. Mamba mentality.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wanted to see a lot more out of Hassan Whiteside in this series.
Yeah, he didn't get very many minutes a game though.
He didn't, but he didn't do much while he was out there. I expected more out of Nurkic too, and what I was pleasantly surprised by is Melo. Melo looked pretty good out there.
Yeah, I think Melo's gonna get another year contract and stay with Portland.
Yeah, I wonder where he'll go. I mean, the Lakers could use someone like Melo. I'm surprised that they didn't sign him.
Yeah, with how close him and LeBron are.
Mm-hmm. AD just launching those threes.
Man,
Gary Trent played very well he's undersized, guarding LeBron a lot. I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah, Trent played, better than I expected.
Yeah.
But man, going back to AD, man, he is the most unstoppable big man in the league right now.
Yeah. He's the most skilled, that's for sure, I think.
Besides, I mean, if KD was healthy, nobody's better than KD, but still.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Brooklyn next year with KD and Kyrie back.
And Spencer Dinwiddie, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah. And LeVert, if he continues to develop.
And, I mean, we can't completely shut LeBron out. LeBron took over a couple of these games, even, it hurts me to say it, but he did.
He played pretty well at times. I mean, I believe it was like game 2. He didn't look very good. Maybe it was game 2 or game 3. He had like 10 points or something, 10 and 6. But he still has it, and he showed that. He was able to go the next gear and put up monster stats. He's still definitely a threat, definitely a factor. Now,
but once they get more into these, deeper into these series, just because I think the Rockets will take them to 7, and then they'll probably end up facing the Clippers, and that'll go to 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And LeBron's up there in age. I remember him being tired when he played with Cleveland, and he admitted that, going this far in these series is making me tired.
Absolutely, but I feel like of all years that you can't use that as an excuse, it should be this one with the major break in the season. I know a lot of people are talking about the Lakers were rolling, but in my opinion, with LeBron's age, the most important thing is that break. That should do wonders for him. Do you see J.R. Smith trying to shoot a 3 from out of bounds in this game?
What was that?
Do you see J.R. Smith trying to launch a 3 from out of bounds in this game?
Yeah.
You always get a good J.R. Smith moment on the court.
There always has to be one. J.R. Smith is, I don't know, man. It always seems like he comes to the games high or something.
Yeah, that's definitely. He's always stoned out there, forgetting something, forgetting the score, not knowing where the out of bounds is. He's a talented
Yeah,
player, though. Let's talk Lakers Rockets. I mean, well, Clippers versus Nuggets or Jazz. Do you see Nuggets or Jazz being a concern at all for the Clippers? I don't. I see the Clippers taking it in 5, 6 at most. What do you think?
yeah. I chose Denver, so I'm gonna put Denver in that spot. But
Yeah.
I think Denver would be a better matchup for them just because, if Jamal Murray can keep doing what he's doing, of
Yep.
course, Jokic is gonna get his.
Yep.
It could be tough for the Clippers, but they got Paul George and obviously Kawhi Leonard, Lou Williams. It's just gonna overall be too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Clippers should handle that. Lakers Rockets was what we're assuming. Um, now that Westbrook's back, what do you think? I mean, Lakers Rockets. That's a 7 game series. It's gonna be fun. Now, like you said, that's the best series we've seen so far. I think. I've been watching this Lakers Blazers. As much crap as I talk about LeBron, I always turn on the TV when he's playing, especially a big, these playoff games. But Rockets Lakers, that's no joke for the Lakers. They better bring their A game because Houston is I think scarier this year than they've ever been in recent history.
Yeah, and it's the Lakers looked good against Portland, but there were times where they they really should have beat them by 30 or 40, but Portland
Yeah.
stayed in the game because they had so much inconsistency off the bench.
Yeah, and
Like
Harden can light them up, and he gets to the free throw line at will.
I know, and everyone I talk to, I say, "Hey, who's gonna guard Harden?" And they're like, "LeBron." I'm like, "Not from the
LeBron
perimeter
doesn't need
because."
that. LeBron does not going to guard Harden because LeBron doesn't want to get in foul trouble. Harden gets those touch fouls. They're going to put Danny Green or Caldwell Pope on Harden.
And he's gonna eat them up.
I bet LeBron will be guarding PJ Tucker and saving himself for the offensive side of the ball because it's going to be one of those games or one of those series where it's 130 to 130, 140 to 130, shit like that the entire series, I think. And it's just going to be a 3-point shooting fest. Because
Yeah,
the
and
Lakers
I
want to
mean,
shoot the three. They really, on the inside, they want to launch threes every play. So if you give them a reason to, with Houston doing it, it's going to be a 3-point fest out there.
we're definitely forgetting about, another good 3-point shooter from Houston, Eric Gordon.
Yep.
He
I like
can,
Eric Gordon. He can get hot. PJ Tucker is playing great defense and he can hit the three. Who else do they got over there?
and I mean, back to Russell. If he's being Russell Westbrook, nobody on the Lakers can stop him.
No. Just be in transition and attacking the basket. That's what I want Westbrook to do. Attack the basket and get to the line.
Yep, and the Rockets are the best team in the NBA, getting points from the free throw line.
Yeah. Yep. So that's going to be a hell of a series. You're picking LA in 7, though, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget about McLemore, Ben McLemore. He's
Yep.
been playing pretty well. They got
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Chandler,
I don't even.
Austin Rivers, Robert Covington.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, yeah, the bigs are going to be needed. So, but well, sounds good. So, are you picking Lakers in 7 over Houston?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I see Houston doing what they always do, choking.
Yeah, I agree. Lakers in 7, and then that should set up Lakers Clippers Western Conference Finals, and that'll be a hell of a series. So, all right, thanks for coming on, Dustin. Good shit as always. Fun talking NBA playoffs. Hope you guys enjoyed the highlights.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. That one was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be more fun doing it with these highlights and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna keep the NBA ones coming out. We'll have one Wednesday night, and appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah. Hey, before you go,
Yeah.
everybody just like, subscribe, and really listen, because these are good shows, especially for the future.
I saw some people on your post that were like, "I'm not even gonna listen. I know." So it's like, bro, come on now. So give it a listen. Check it out. You don't know what we're gonna say.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, yeah, we got it. Big things on the horizon. So, I appreciate the support. Thank you guys. Thanks, Dustin.
Yep. No
Peace
problem.
out.